Hi, this is Tarun Chaudhary. This is a quick video to show how we can automate OMOP on FHIR code base. So let's get started. So I have created a file called automation.md, which has a step-by-step instruction how to do that. I will add one more solution architecture diagram very soon, but I think I will explain now how the solution architecture will work. So we are using GitHub hosted runner solution to automate and CICD of this code base. So the first thing is need to do for the hosted runner, we need to install the hosted runner solution. So all the steps are given here, and we need a separate VM, and then we need to configure that with the personal access token, and then we need to run that. So basically, whenever there is any events happen into GitHub repository, they will create a job, and that will be pushed to a global queue, and this is going to listen to that queue, and any job has coming. This follows the pull based approach, so it's very secure. The hosted runner solution, basically the VM where you will run your hosted runner along, it will not, there will not be any inbound access, only outbound. So it will go and pull the GitHub code and run it. So I actually already set up in my local machine, so it's running here hosted runner solution. So I'm not going to show that because that includes some access credentials. So, but if you follow these steps, you should be able to do that. So after we set up the hosted runners, we need to do the DB setup. So basically, the OMOP database includes a lot of vocabulary and codes, including a CPT code, which is a proprietary. So we have not fully automated the database setup. I basically created the job, which needs to be triggered manually one time only, and that will just install the Postgres database as a Docker container, but the load needs to happen manually. So just to show you that this is my machine, target machine where hosted runner is running. Also, this is the machine where Docker container will be installed. So this is where we can perform the end-to-end testing. But literally, this could be another target cloud anywhere else. But for a simplicity of the showing, I have my hosted runner and my target system on the same machine. But this could be potentially any other cloud too, and there might be needing some tweak in the jobs. So let's show. So just to say that I want to show you that in my Docker registry, there is no images currently exist. So I'm starting very clean. So now my first job will be to install the database. So to do that, it's a manual trigger. So to do that, what I will do is basically I will go to OMOP on FHIR, go to the workflows folder, go to the Postgres YAML file, and then from there I can go directly also the actions tab, and that's the YAML file is created basically for installing, and these are the steps are mentioned. Sorry. So I will go to the action tab, and then I'll click here and then say run the job. So run the job. I click it. So this should pick up the new job. So because it's a hosted runner, it may take some time to get the runner available. So it's basically just need to wait for some time. So let me refresh this page, and I think it says 20-second ago it runs. So it's very fast. So just installing the pulling the Docker images, right? So it may be already finished. I will check here. Okay, great. So the Docker is already run. So already I have the Postgres installed as a Docker container. Now what I will do is basically I'll go back to my instruction document. So once I do that, I will basically also I have to clone this. So the manual step is not automated. So after we do the Docker job run to Docker GitHub action, we need to perform this step number 2. These are manual steps. So you need to clone that, and then I already cloned it. So I'm not showing I'm here. I already cloned it. So I'm on that directory, and then all I want to do is that I want to execute the step 2, so which is basically going to create the Docker database. Okay, it says Docker database is created. The database name is OMOP. The Postgres is the user who is connecting it. So it's all done. I'm not going to show the remaining steps because the database setup is not in the scope. I just want to show that to the web to up and running for the web server, database needs to be created. That is the minimum requirement. The data loading process is separate. So to make it fully functional, you need to load the data correctly. I'm not showing it here. There is a very good document. If we follow that document, it could be done. And I also mentioned the key steps, what needs to be done. But it also involves creating an account, downloading the vocabulary, as well as to get the vocabulary dump. So that it includes some of the processes, and it may vary based on the requirement, kind of what are the use cases you are working on OMOP on FHIR. So we'll next move to actually creating the web application through CICD. So now, because so what I wanted to do is basically I want to so if you go to the let's see the jobs, how CICD job is created. So what we are doing is that in the job, we are basically building a Docker image based on the existing Docker file is there. And after we do that image, then we basically, because it may run next time, so we are trying to stop the container. If it is not there, we are skipping that. Then we are removing the container. If it is not there, we're skipping that. Then we are also creating the network. And if it is already exists, fine. And then so these are the steps we are doing, and then we are basically running the Docker container. So let's do that. Okay, so let's perform that. So to do that, I will just make a quick edit. So I would say on count 3, save, and I would just commit this file just to show some change happened to the repository. We push. So once I do that, I should see a job kicked off. See, a new job kicked off. Let's see what the job is doing. Found online, so it started. So that's how you can see. So you couldn't see these CLI logs because the creating a database is very fast, but this is going to take time because it's going to pull all the dependencies of the Maven dependencies and the build the Java and then the Docker images. So it's going to take some time. So let's wait for that. And while I'm waiting, I wanted to say that currently it's a private repository, but I will make it public today. But I will remove the hosted runner, any hosted runner, because that's the specific credentials I have. And then when it is needs to be merged to the master branch, it needs to be configured correctly wherever the master branch wants to run. This is just a POC for me, which I've successfully done and showed that we can do complete CI/CD. So it's still building, and so just while it is building, I want to show you that how you can run the runners. So you can go to the settings of your repository. A little slow. And I've seen that when the runners are running, if I try to move to another link, it takes time. Let me just wait. Okay, so it happens. So if you click on the settings, actions, and runners, you see I have an ideal runner, but I am going to delete this because before I make it public, I will delete this runner. And but you can add, when you try to merge in your own code base, you can add your own runner and test it. And if it is part of the master, and then another issue, another thing I want to show you that is there are, when I'm creating the database, I included the password as a raw text. Though this password, even if people see this password, it's still not valuable to anyone because the database will run behind the firewall and the application which is going to be exposed outside in this case. So nobody will have access to the database directly. But it's still better to not to do that, and that's why we have GitHub secrets. We can define the password in the secret GitHub secret, add that and refer that into file. That can be done as a future enhancement. I haven't done that here. So I think now we are done. So it's completed. So let me go and see what's in our Docker container. Wow. So we have now the application MoMA on Fire web application is also running. Let's exec to the pod. We put the container ID. Okay. Okay. So this is important. So once your web application is running, you should exec to the pod and see at least once if you have multiple pod running that how the local host this log is there. If there is no error here, that means your application actually booted successfully. So that's all good. Now you can. So this is the I set up it. So this is my VM in my private network where open file. Let me refresh this code. I tried before, so I'm showing again. So I should be able to access it. Okay. So it says fail to load. So I have not loaded all the data. That's why there are some warnings probably, but I think that's out of scope for that. That's a short demo. I hope, and I'm going to include that demo video. I'm going to upload that and also include it in a automation dot md markup file. Thank you.